Hi, one of the most frequently asked questions I receive is this: what is SEO and why do I need it? And what is it going to cost me? This video will answer some of those questions. Today, everyone with an online presence wants to be on page 1 on Google, Bing, or Yahoo search engines. However, only a few can be there every time someone searches for products and services. How can you make sure you will be on page 1 as often as possible in a way that people will visit your website and order your products or your services? The answer to that question is great search engine optimization, or what is known as SEO. Most of our clients' websites are developed on the Joomla content management system platform, which is much stronger than the WordPress platform's core. And this has many advantages for you as our client. One of those lies in the area of search engine optimization. Joomla's ability to interact with Google's suite of SEO tools is far superior. But what is involved in setting up great search engine optimization? Before I answer this question, let me answer the question of why we need search engine optimization. And I can think of 7 reasons why a business should invest in great search engine optimization. The first reason is that after all these years, it still works. Now, more than ever before, the techniques employed in search engine optimization are relevant. Okay, they still work. Google has gone to great lengths to make sure that the information appearing on the first, second, and third pages of their search engine is up to date and relevant. For this, in 2009, they introduced a tool called Panda Update that has a list of 205 plus minus criteria that websites need to adhere to and have in place in order to climb to page 1. Secondly, it's not going to stop working anytime soon. Okay, based on the way search engines appear to be developing, it's not likely that search engine optimization or SEO will cease to be effective anytime in the foreseeable future. In fact, the opposite is true. On some level, even audio and video searches ultimately depend on keywords and descriptions. The third reason is this: it is cost effective. Okay, compared to the costs associated with other forms of online marketing and print media marketing, marketing such as pay-per-click advertising or social media marketing, or even purchases of leads from an email marketing program, SEO provides good return on investment, or what is known as ROI. While pay-per-click may drive more revenue and social media may be important for your image, your organic SEO, that's the Google free listings that you want to climb to page 1 on, in many ways, Google's organic SEO remains the bedrock of your online marketing and your online presence. The exception is Google Ads, where you pay per click, and this will greatly influence your general ranking on their search engine by giving you immediate page 1 rankings. And later on in this video, we'll show you how we link all of this together so that even Google Ads, which are pay per click, will, if connected properly to the rest of the SEO tools, will in fact add to your ranking and that on your organic search. Fourth reason: search engines are grabbing more and more market share. In South Africa now, more than 60 or 70% of customers now check online reviews prior to making a purchase. And this number is only expected to increase. It won't be long before virtually everyone is searching for products and services online. And we're seeing more and more of this, even following this COVID lockdown that we're seeing. The number of searches that are happening around products and services has greatly increased. So the question is this: do you want them to be able to locate your business or not? That is the big question. Without organic SEO in place, people will have a very hard time finding you, and instead they will find your competitors. Fifth reason: the rise of mobile bandwidth local search optimization, and GPS location. Later this year, the amount of traffic delivered to mobile devices is expected to exceed that delivered by traditional desktop devices. With this dramatic explosion of mobile devices and mobile searches, a whole new world of effective SEO techniques has opened up for companies, such as local search engine optimization, geolocation. That's where they can locate, somebody searching can locate your business within a 15-kilometer radius. You will appear at the top of the search ranks. Again, geolocation, mobile-friendly rankings. Your site has to be mobile-friendly, or Google is going to tell us about it, and they're going to de-rank you if we don't sort it out. Okay, and product listings for e-commerce products has become a service that Google is now offering. And again, we have the tools in Joomla to be able to do it. Sixthly, not having a healthy content profile is damaging. Not having a healthy content profile is damaging to your business. With each and every update of its search algorithm, Google and other search engines change the way they look at websites. And this is very important. Things that didn't exist a few years ago, such as social media indicators, are now given fairly high importance and prominence in terms of their impact on your search engine results and on your rankings in Google. Not building a healthy content profile spread out over a few months and even years is potentially damaging to your business, as it is one of the factors that Google evaluates when looking at your site. And then seventhly, this is really important, your competitors are doing it. If you're not doing it, your competitors are. Remember, SEO is a never-ending process. If you're not moving forward and improving your position, you're losing ground to a competitor who is doing it. That's a simple fact of how the process works. Don't let your competitors outmaneuver you by ignoring this valuable tool for your business. Investing in organic search engine optimization is now more important than ever before, despite the current difficulty everyone finds themselves facing. Your business definitely needs to have an SEO strategy in place if you are interested in succeeding in terms of online marketing. It remains one of the most single important components of any organization's branding efforts and online presence. NetWise Multimedia can help you develop an SEO strategy for your business and website. Once set up and configured, our SEO components will update Google at least twice a week automatically, which means this takes away from a monthly cost of managing this. And then every 6 to 12 months, depending on the type of industry you're in, this will determine when we need to do an audit on your SEO and add and change any of the components or services that Google has to bring it up to date again. But for the most, 6 to 12 months, we would do the audit and you would be able to manage to stay up to date with your SEO. As far as the components and tools are concerned, once we've installed an SEO package on your website, we update the tools automatically when new editions or new versions of it come out. So these are 7 reasons that I really believe that you need to invest in search engine optimization. Okay, and these should convince you of the importance of search engine optimization. It boils down to this: if you don't have search engine optimization for your website, people are not going to find you on Google. It's that simple. So let's move on to how SEO works. At the beginning of 2009, it was as simple going to a Google registration page and adding your URL. 2 or 3 days later, you'd appear on Google search engine. Following the introduction of the Panda update system later in 2009, it has now evolved into a complex system of services that track every conceivable aspect of a user's activity, from clicking on email links to visits referred from social media or other websites, and also from mobile devices and apps. For this, Google Services has evolved into a complex relationship between your website and their search engine. And all of this involves search engine optimization, or SEO, and a number of Google's different services. And so the diagram here shows your website and how it interacts with Google's SEO services. Okay, so let's begin with the beginning with your own website. And on the diagram, you can see there's your website. It's your website we've developed, and it's just gone live. And so at the moment, it's not connected to any SEO services. And so as we begin the SEO services, the first thing that we've got to do is that we've got to set up the Google APIS service. Now, that is done in our developers console, and there are a number of different aspects to this, various authentication keys that have to be set up and developed and put in place, and that's so that your APIS can govern the connection and the interconnectivity between these different services. If we don't use the Google APIS service, the interconnectivity doesn't work properly. So what happens is that something that comes through to Google Analytics might not affect Google Ads or might not affect Google Search Console or any of the other services. That's APIS that governs everything and how these different services interact to each other. Okay, so you can see from the video that you've got here, it's a complex service which involves services, API keys, and structured data keys and whatever in order to get all of this to connect together. Then moving on, the next thing that we've got to do is that we've got to go and set up your Google Search Console. Now, here's where we register your name with Google, and then this is your organic search. And what organic search is that it's simply all of the search content and information that is not paid for on Google. And so that's where where people talk about, I want to get to page 1. Okay, but they don't want to pay for it, but they want to get to page 1 on Google search engine. And that's what organic search is. And that is governed by a number of different factors involving your website. So as people come across from different services like your, say, Facebook or whatever, they click a link to your website. Okay, all of that information is picked up in Search Console, and Search Console also checks for things like mobility, mobile friendliness, dead URLs. All of these things do affect your ranking negatively, and those reports are sent through to us. If something happens and we see, okay, right, it's not mobile friendly, or Google is saying that something is wrong here, and they will then inform us, and we can go in and have a look at that and resolve it and let them know it's resolved. So that's what Google Search Console primarily does. Then the next service that you need is Google Analytics. Now, Google Analytics records all of the visits to your website. So every time somebody lands on your website, then Google Analytics records the visit. Okay. Now, I want to just kind of deal with one confusion here. You know, when people tell you they've got 5,000 hits on their website in the last month, that is not 5,000 visitors. Okay. You see, a single page like our homepage can have 17 or 18 different files that pull together to form that homepage. One will be a photograph, another will be a text, another will be a module. And all of these things pull together. So you might have 17 or 18 or even 20 different components or modules that pull together, images, text, etc. And when a hit is each one of those. So in other words, you could have one visitor with 20 hits. Okay, so you need to take a look at how many visits to your site in your stats and how many unique visitors that there are. So Google Analytics will then pull all of that information in and and give it back to Google APIS, and Google APIS will record it in the ultimate decider on your organic search, which will be Google Search Console. So it'll feed it all back into there. Without that connection with Google APIS, you've got two standalone things. You've got Google Search Console and you've got Google Analytics, and they don't always speak to each other. Okay, that's where Google IPS makes sure that everything pulls together nicely. The next service that we set up is called Google Ads. It used to be called Google AdWords, and towards the end of last year, they made a change and they just shortened it to Google Ads. There are various forms of advertising that fall under Google Ads, but all of it is pretty much pay per click. So you can get advertising on Google search engine in the first place or first page position, and you'll see that it's commonly depicted by the little ad or
little add comment at the top of the page, and then a couple at the bottom of the page as well. So those are paid ads. That's the only way you can guarantee any client or any customer an immediate page one impression and for your site and that when it goes live. So often what we do is we say to our clients that if you want immediate page one, then don't go and lean only on organic search, because it's going to take a while for organic search to get to page one. So what we do is we say, okay, we set up the organic search, we're setting up Google Ads. You need to just fund an ad for the first couple of months, decide how much you're going to spend more or less, and go for it. Okay, so that'll get you immediate impressions. And then again, because it works through Google Search Console and linked through APIs, what happens is that anything that, or any click through in that to your site that happens in Google Ads will also be considered a click for Search Console, the organic search. So you will gain your brownie points for that as well. It'll lift your ranking. Google Ads has several ways of doing it. There's obviously the search part of ads, which is the one which most of us would use, and that puts your website on page one of Google search. But then there's also Google AdSense, which comes in that into that, which is adverts on YouTube, which could be video ads or the little rectangular ads that you see on YouTube. And that's also done through Google Ads. And all of these things, these click-throughs and all of that will feature on your Search Console. So all of these will feature on your Search Console organic search rankings and results. And the nice thing is that even if you have a YouTube channel, it gets picked up. We develop an API also in APIs, which forms part of that. And any thing that you post on YouTube for your business, and that will also be picked up via Google Ads and through Search Console, all because of the Google API X service that pulls everything together. Okay, so that is Google Ads, and one thing I need to say about Google Ads is that they used to work on a choice between a prepaid system, just like you would buy credit for your cell phone, and a postpaid system. They've now done away with the prepaid system. Why? I don't know. Google refuses to give me an answer on that other than to say that they've done it. But the postpaid system works. Now, the way in which the postpaid system works is that the amount you're going to pay in a month will be determined by what your daily bid is. And they do put a ceiling on it. But you could land up easily spending 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 Rand a month on Google Ads where you have not necessarily intended to do that. You might have only wanted to spend 1,000 Rand. But if you work it out in your daily bid strategy, you'll discover that 1,000 Rand is not going to get you anybody coming to your site. So you're kind of forced to set a daily bid that is in keeping with what the average CPI is, and that will mean that you can expect to get a bill of 4,000 to 5,000 Rand. So not too many of our clients are using Google ad services, and we do use it from time to time when we find that we are really needing to get new work in. But again, for us, we have also found it to be quite expensive. In comparison to print media, it is not that expensive. Okay, taking an ad out in a newspaper or a magazine is a lot more expensive than taking an ad on Google Ads. And your reach on Google Ads is actually better. Okay, so that's Google Ads. Then the last thing is Google My Business. And Google My Business stands alone pretty much from everything else. However, okay, Google My Business looks very carefully at your website. So when we set up your location, on Google My Business and your business address, etc., it needs to be exactly the same as it is on your website. Okay, so even if you say, I live at 1 West Road on your website, and on Google My Business you say 1 West RD for road, that's going to count against you. The addresses and everything have to be exactly the same. So it's important that when we set up your SEO that we will make sure that the addresses and the information on your website is word for word, letter for letter correct to what it's going to be on Google My Business. Okay, so that's a brief overview of Google services and what we need to do in order to get you to start climbing the ranks to page one. And we do that through our SEO packages. You can see what they are on our website. And the nice thing again about them is that you pay once off, and the tools that we use automatically update your SEO as you update your website and as you update content and stuff on your website, which is something that you really need to be doing. And what it does is it'll get you to page 1.
Okay, so what I've done is I've given you a great overview of what is involved in setting up proper search engine optimization that will get you to page 1. I didn't focus very much on what happens in the website itself, which is the keywords and the descriptions that go into RS SEO. That is time consuming, and it's an interaction between Google and ourselves to see what other people and what your competitors are using, and then obviously we try to improve on that. So SEO is vital to your business and your online presence and drawing people towards your business. And I want to encourage you, if you don't have search engine optimization yet, we do it for you. And we have the various packages, as you saw on our website. Normally I say start with the bronze package, and if you want to upgrade it later, you can. And then again, to get to page 1, immediately would require you to use Google Ads, and that also we can manage for you. So I hope you found this video interesting and that you're better informed on what search engine optimization involves.